You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show.
Hello there.
We are doing more download stuff this week.
Because it's still fresh and relevant.
Yes. Not only that, but last year we had so much fun working out what my ideal download set list would be. I say my ideal because I didn't really think about where bands were and their trajectories, whereas you're a lot...
You just went Metalcore Festival.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we'll call it Download.
Download. We'll call what I did last year Download, whereas you are much better at feeling the pulse of where bands are. I mean, just to explain, when we did promotions together, he was always the one that actually booked the bands and had like a 4 to 5 year unbroken record of getting a band whilst it was still quite cheap on the old monies to book them.
Sign them and then they blow up. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and that's what we had for our Zombie Ball for a good 4 to 5 years, was signed bands at really cheap rates.
Yeah.
And then by the time that we actually got to it, they had exploded, and like particularly Fearless Vampire Killers and The Defiled, both of them got huge.
I know. You got to book them like 10 to 12 months in advance.
Yeah, and Skindred were already popular, but we got them just as they released Kill the Power.
Yeah. And
that shot them up to like loads more. But they were actually very happy with doing our Zombie Ball because we like Benji likes us. That's recorded in an interview. And so they actually really enjoyed doing it because they got a chance to bring Glamour with them because they were doing a tour package with
They're
Glamour of
back
the Kill.
now as well, Glamour of the Kill.
Yeah. We also had Not Slip, which is the UK's leading tribute band to Slipknot.
That was fun, wasn't it?
And even Slipknot like Not Slip, and they've signed all of their masks and stuff like that. And then we had some local bands that don't exist anymore filling out the lineup for that one as well, didn't we? Don't think we had...
I don't think there's any of those local bands are still going, but we are talking like 11 years ago now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Had Dainton and Pritchard as our after party. That was amazing. So the reason I explain all of this is we are nerds when it comes to promotions and booking. We like sitting there and trying to work out who's going to headline. And the reason that we've decided to only do one download lineup between the two of us is largely because on the way home from Download, us two and the manager all in the same van together, worked out that we actually completely agree on headliners for next year.
Yeah.
So main stage headliners are a complete agreement, and the rest of it, I said to Mike, look, put together a lineup, and then I'll let you know if I think there's anything that should be on there that's not. Genuinely sent him a message going, I have no edits. I'm so happy with the one that you've come up with for next year.
It's good, isn't it?
So we haven't like strictly decided how to go through this. So I'm thinking maybe day by day.
That would make sense. We've both got it saved on our phones, but I'm sure in the post, Dan will have it up so you can
It'll
also...
probably be around here, and normally it's between our legs.
But whilst I'm pointing, like, subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Make sure you do.
And then once we've announced our lineup, put some comments in it and
tear us apart.
Or
agree with us, because shout out to every comment that we've had since Download being super positive. Love you, YouTube. Not used to that. But yeah, tell us where you think that we are completely, left to centre, or whether or not there's somebody that we haven't actually like properly given credit to or something like that.
Well, since sending you this, I've thought of other bands that could quite easily go on it, but we haven't quite filled the Dogtooth stage.
No, I mean, we use the app that a lot of people use for funsies to do the predict, because it gives us a nice looking poster. And
it gives us the band logos, doesn't
that
it?
too, I don't have to find them.
Up to a certain stage, anyway.
So yeah, we've got quite an interesting one. Shall we go bottom up? So Dogtooth stage headliners is all we have on the Dogtooth.
Yes.
And we are going for Marilyn Manson.
He's been away for a while, and he's come back, and
he's paying his dues again after all the controversy as well. Like, he's not just expecting to go back in as like the alternative darling that he used to be. So I think headlining a Dogtooth stage actually does...
It'll be absolutely rammed in there.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
And he's also a good colour option compared to who's on the main stage when we get to that. because normally they put on the Dogtooth stage something completely different to what's on the headline of the main stage, so that you got the choice between the two. But that's all we have for Dogtooth, because last year I believe I had to actually add bits to the poster.
Well, also we can go for a second announcement.
Yeah, we're going to let you know around Christmas.
It's just for fun though, but
So moving on to Avalanche on the Friday, we've got second main support, and a headliner to go through.
Yep.
So who did you have in like the lower main support slots? So not directly next to the band, but
it was Black Gold, who just absolutely tore it up around Europe festival-wise at the moment. So I was like, that would work well.
And not only that, Black Gold, fantastic on album, but they make the most amount of sense if you watch them live.
Oh, 100.
And given that we're relatively confident we know who at least a couple of the members are, if we're right, then they've got the legacy of doing amazing live shows as well. And that's, for me, really showing in the response that Black Gold are getting when they go out there and actually play for people. Next is a particular favourite of mine.
The Amity Affliction.
And they've gone through some recent lineup changes and a bit of controversy.
But they'll have a new album out by the time Download next year comes
100%.
out. So it's a good booking, I thought.
And I feel like that's right for Amity, because they would either be main support on the Avalanche stage or something similar, or they'd be quite low down on the second stage. You know, they're looking like they're potentially going to be pushing further as time goes on, because they've got the new sound. They've got, I can't remember his name, but he's from Kingdom of Giants, is their new member. Mm-hmm. And I got to admit, I watched the live performance of their new track, All I Remember. Really, really good. Like, really, really good live performance. So, happy with that one as well. And then who's headlining on the Friday, the Avalanche stage?
In this moment.
I completely agree, actually. Headline slot, very, very good. Also, at some point, we'll tell the story of how her bodyguard nearly beat me up. That was Maria Brink's bodyguard.
Nearly?
Yeah, nearly. But no, I think that, again, it's giving the headliner slot rather than going, oh, well, we can put you on the main stage, but you're going to be, you know, fourth from the top or something like that.
Yeah, and I thought someone like in this moment would suit a darker tent so they can get all the theatrics and whatnot, whereas if it was in the daylight, it probably wouldn't hit as hard.
Yeah, though, tell you what, if they ever did get to second stage headliner or main stage headliner, which is still possible for in this moment, they've just not pushed it over in the UK as much as they used to. The theatrics for main stage would be insane. We're talking Sleep Token level, because they had, like, aesthetic is such a part of what In This Moment do. So I can see that. And then we've got the Opus stage.
The second stage.
I was going to say erstwhile known as the second stage to most people.
Yeah, so there will be some openers on that, because they open that stage at like 11, but we only went for the last 4 bands.
Yeah, because we didn't want to sit here just reading lists for the whole thing, but we've...
that makes great watching. Us reading off of our phones.
But we've got p.o.d as the lowest on that day.
No, not the lowest, they'll be...
I mean, on our list.
On our list, yes.
Yeah, Hollywood Undead.
Yes.
Bloodywood.
Alive.
And Lamb of God.
Yes. I was toying Lamb of God as the headliner, or would they be in for Bloodstock next year? Because I think that'd be a good call as well.
Because they've headlined Bloodstock before.
They have, twice.
So, but no, second stage headliner, I think is a very good fit for them as well. And on the Friday particularly, because people get a couple of days to recover from Lamb of God by watching other bands, because you tend to get a bit punched in the face by Lamb of God sets, which is the way it's meant to be.
They've pretty much had a year off, haven't they? They've only done a couple of shows this year, so I'd imagine they'll be hitting it hard next year with new music.
And we are waiting with bated breath to see what that actually looks like.
Not me.
Onto our main stage on the Friday.
So there will be some openers.
What have we got?
Oh, they haven't been announced yet. That's in the second wave announcement.
That's our second wave announcement.
At Christmas.
But we've got 7 bands, probably out of there's normally 10 on the main stage.
Yeah.
So we're starting our list. Our opener would be Drowning Pool.
Why not?
I mean, legacy.
Exactly.
And I do believe that Drowning Pool are trying to sort of show that they're not done.
Yeah, they're touring the UK in the autumn, and why not?
And we've actually interviewed them a few times, watched them quite a lot. And for those that think that they're just a one-trick pony with the track Bodies, you really are missing out. Because Drowning Pool's set is just...
It's fun. It's a good sing-along, but Bodies is obviously the one that everyone will get up early for to go.
Oh, for sure.
Get the bodies hit the floor.
And I know they've had a few lineup changes over the years, but if they've still got the vocalist that we saw last time, he was insane. So that's pretty cool. Employed to Serve, we've been supporters of their career pretty much since they first got sent to us on PR.
Yeah, so we've got them on the main stage on the Friday, because they've got new music coming, an album and all that, so...
That works for me.
Bit of work.
We've got Dragon Force on the main stage. I mean, you don't need to explain that to us.
It just needs, we need some squiddly diddly needly boodlies.
Exactly
That's
that.
for the clip.
Then we've got UK mainstays being Bury tomorrow.
Yes.
Still, I still think that we could see second stage headliner out of them at some point in their career.
Oh, very much so.
Then a band which has featured quite a lot on our show and our podcast in various ways, being I Prevail. They've now, at the point that we recorded this, they've dropped a clean vocals track with the
it's good, isn't it?
Well, new vocalist, but he's an existing member of the band. And it's growing on me. I said on the show, actually I think I said it off air, but it wasn't my most favourite thing, and then I listened to it again and I was like, did I listen to that grumpy? Because sometimes I listen to things grumpy and they don't come across as well. But second time round I was actually like, no, I want to see where it goes. I want to see something a bit punchier on the clean vocals and another track, see what happens there.
They're pushing things forwards.
And then I know an awful lot of people that would agree with you for your main support and the fact he needs to be at Download.
It's about time that Young Blood played Download. He's done Reading. He's got his own festival, which has just happened in Milton Keynes.
And did Billy Idol come out?
He did. Billy Idol come out, and they did White Wedding together. And
what was really cool is you can see that Billy's not as comfortable in his skin as he used to be, because obviously he's got a lot older. But instead of worrying about being next to a firecracker like Youngblood, the look of pride on Billy's face as he's watching Youngblood perform, that's going to stick with me, man. That's the way our legacy acts need to view the young firecrackers.
That's it. And all those parents at the back of Milton Keynes Bowl that took their kids to Bloodfest were going like, Billy Idol, amazing.
Such a solid move.
And then all the drives home will be like, Dad, who's Billy Idol? Mum, who's Billy Idol?
But that's the great thing about a festival in general, is you don't know who's going to guess just because they happen to be near the site.
Yeah.
And Billy Idol, same way that Bring Me did with Danny Filth and a couple of other artists, he's using his platform to raise up his influences that got him to be Youngblood, which I think is awesome. Now, for people that know my opinion on this particular band, are going to be surprised that I am in complete agreement.
It's the bookie's favourite.
It is the bookie's favourite, but
one of the bookie's favourite. We'll talk about the other bookie's favourite later.
And I do think that it would either be the Friday that we've put it, or they could potentially be the Sunday. These are not actually defined days.
These are just acts we want playing at Download next year.
But we are talking about Ghost. Now,
the greatest rock band of the millennium.
I'm not a fan. I think what they do is talented. I think what they do is good. It's not for me.
You're still going to watch them though, because they're headlining. And,
of course. I'm a professional journalist. I do like to actually watch the headliners.
Yeah, but wait for our podcast next year, our first highlight show, and Dan's converted and he's painted himself up as Papa, and
I didn't even get converted being the only member of the rock show that's interviewed Ghost.
You can blur that.
But yeah, no,
that one.
I think that's such a solid choice.
Yeah.
And I think that Ghost would also do really, really well having that headline slot, the money that comes with it for the production. I think that we could see that being the start of the new era of Ghost.
It's already started, because they started the world tour in the UK, and they told everyone not to take their phones in, which most people did, and apparently the stage show was phenomenal.
And if a band's asking you not to take the phone in, don't be one of those that still does. They're trying to protect it so that it's not ruined by online videos.
Yeah, because sound quality is not great on videos, and if they play new songs from an album or something that's not quite out or that kind of thing, it just ruins it. But
Or also,
plus,
what we proved was Sleep
present.
Token.
Well, yeah, be present.
Well, we weren't, you were, I wasn't. Where I stood for Sleep Token wasn't giving me the full stage production.
No.
And I'll admit I wasn't there. I was shattered, so I wasn't that interested in changing to where Mike had been. But I was very interested when I was reviewing the footage for editing, how different it looked when you're face on.
Yeah.
And that's the downside of doing stuff recorded. We even do a blog where we record live footage. But the reason why we only ever do like a few seconds per band is because we're not looking to actually try and take away from the bands. It was more trying to blog as much of what we had done at Download.
Yeah.
So let's get on to Saturday, because we've still got quite a bit to get through.
Yes.
Dogtooth headliner to balance what will be revealed when we get there. Megadeth.
Why not?
I mean, it's a headline slot.
They headlined Bloodstock a few times. That tent is about the same size as Bloodstock.
You're not wrong. And again, from everything that Dave Mustaine puts out, is he writes music, excuse me, for his fans. It's a very fan-driven experience.
Yeah.
I can see him being the type of person that would want a tent that would only be able to hold his fans.
Plus also,
Because that's who he plays for.
yeah, it's a very young lineup.
Yeah.
And Megadeth and one of the other bands that's on the main stage on this day will put the tick in for the slightly older generation. That
Hell yeah.
Oh, I want some classic thrash, not your new kind of angrier stuff. I want some melodic thrash, and we've got that covered on the Saturday.
I'll just do the three of the Avalanche in one go, and then we'll break them down just a little bit. Seething Akira, South Arcade, Kneecap headlining.
Yeah, that's if they're allowed to play.
Yeah.
They are amazing live. I've been watching them a lot, listening to them a lot, and they sing a lot in Irish, and there is so much controversy about them, and all it's doing is just raising them up higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Like, if you're unaware of Kneecap, check it out, because they are blowing up big, and it's, when the Prime Minister of the UK says that they aren't relevant for Glastonbury, it's like, you're doing something right to rile it up.
And just a little bit of love to the absolute legends in Seething Akira. We do have on our YouTube channel an interview which basically turned into me roasting them, because we've been friends with them for so long and absolutely supported them from day one. We've watched them like nearly 10 plus years ago in a crowd of two, because it was me and Mike.
Me and you.
And they still threw down to like a zero attendance crowd that by the time they finished, they had managed to pull most of the people that were flitting around the area actually into watching what they were doing. Yeah. And also massive shout out to South Arcade. You guys have just absolutely slayed it in America. We're loving the new stuff that you're bringing out. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you're making pop punk actually something that we're a bit more interested in, because
it's heavier,
talented pop punk with a good sense of humour, and that is, again, just go across to South Arcade's Instagram or TikTok. You'll see what I mean about the sense of humour straight away. These guys are absolutely slaying it.
So another nostalgic act on the Opus stage.
Yep, going back to Opus, and that's Uberskank.
Yes.
Again, you couldn't really get through the early 2000s without hearing at least one of two tracks, either Crawling in the Dark or The Reason, being on every music channel every 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, I thought this year we had Alien Out Farm, so we've already booked p.o.d. for the Friday. Why not Uberskank?
Exactly, and you've completely smashed it Mike James Rock Show style by changing the genre immediately after them to Testament.
Like I was saying earlier, it's for the dads.
Yeah, no, you've got to mix it up.
Old school thrash. And
you can have groups on stages, but I also think that that's the great thing about Download, is you don't have to have, this is a ska stage, this is a punk stage. You can.
There's a little bit for everyone.
Yeah,
but
a little bit for everyone.
If it worked out how we've got it, you could go and see Testament, go and get some food, and then go and see Megadeth.
But this is it. Though if I was at Testament, I would be very much holding my position and struggling, depending on when the timings were, against the main stage.
Oh yeah, timing's very much of the essence for...
We would need to move, probably, because it's Kill Switch, followed by Prodigy to headline the main stage. Second stage.
Yeah.
That would be incredible, watching Prodigy be able to headline, because we caught them together on our first ever press download together as main support, or were they headlining?
No, they were headlining with Chase and Status as support.
That was the one.
Because you turned up just as Chase and Status were.
Mate, I didn't break 30 miles an hour from Devon to Donington. It was horrible. But yeah, they're not quite where they were when they headlined the main stage, but I can see them coming back for a second stage headliner.
Oh, for sure.
And we don't need to explain Kill Switch. If you don't know who they are or why they're going to be as high up on the billing, where have you been for the last 20 years?
We even deep dived them a few months ago on the pod.
Exactly. So feel that doesn't need much explanation. Then we've got the start of the main stage.
Yep.
Being Power Trip, Mastodon and Turnstile. I mean, in many ways, I don't think that needs a huge amount of explanation.
No.
Particularly Mastodon, they are like the cult favourites in many ways of the heavier sound.
Well, you go Power Trip because it's hard, wake you up, kind of.
Yeah.
It's hard on the main stage, then Mastodon, and then the darlings that are Turnstile that are playing at Glastonbury this coming weekend.
Amazing.
It's just insane.
Then we've got headliners from Slam Dunk this year being Electric Callboy.
Yeah.
Very good choice.
Sort of mid-afternoon-ish, I think.
Yeah, get them on the main stage, a download for sure. We need to right or wrong that old Noel Sebastian blew out his voice before he was meant to be on the main stage of download.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that back because
No, they were second stage headliners and they pulled out.
Sorry, yep, second stage headliners. But we've got them...
For last year.
Second from main support, so there's two left on the main stage because they are still incredible and we've watched them live quite a few times now.
Yeah.
And
they bring the bounce. It's all about the bounce.
And they bring the pretty as well, like his vocals on the newer stuff. Just so good. I'd say this is your most wild card in the main support slot.
I thought it was quite good. Stick in a bit of No Doubt.
That would go down so well at download.
Yeah.
Like so well.
Plus I've only seen No Doubt once and that was in the mid-90s at Glastonbury.
Well, there we go. So we got to get No Doubt over because I do think that would actually work incredibly well at download.
I do too, especially with that lineup because you've got like Turnstile, which is for everyone.
Yep.
Electric Callboy Party, Heavy Party for Bad Omens, and then you just Scar Party for No Doubt, and then we get Silly with lots of fire, and it's not Rammstein.
It is not.
It's a new headliner pushing through. Secret guests a couple of years ago. Work it out.
It's Parkway.
Parkway Drive.
Parkway Drive.
Yeah. Saturday night headliners.
Again, I can see them. Like, if we were worried about days, I could see them easily doing a Friday.
Doesn't matter on the days, does it? No, as long as they headline.
This is the caveat is there are certain prestiges to whether you do Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We haven't worried about that in this lineup. We're just putting sort of names to paper.
Because most of the bands on the lineup will be playing in Europe the following day or the day before, so it's all interlinked.
But I do think that Parkway are heading for the main stage slot at download. Andy Coppen has said enough about that over the years.
Yeah.
Secret set last year.
Year before last,
sorry.
I think, yeah.
Either way, doing a secret set, which you've literally flown in, I think, from Australia with those guys. Don't think they were part of a
can't remember
active tour, but either way, Parkway, you have earned it, and we want to see it happen.
If not next year, then the year after.
100%. Then just the one that we have for Dogtooth on Sunday being Rob Zombie. Solid choice.
I think that'd be a good headliner.
It balances against.
I know he's
stage.
Headlined the second stage, but that was over a decade ago, and
things change.
He's headlined Bloodstock.
Yeah.
That was really cool, but yeah, he hasn't put out a lot recently and been over here in the UK and Europe for a while. I know he's doing some shows in the States, but...
And download his ticket sales. Always has been.
Yes. Yep.
Then...
Then we're going old school.
I was going to say, are they even, have they come back? Because I thought they were on permanent hiatus.
No, they're playing live and everything.
So Chimera, that's caught me off guard.
We had a conversation in the radio studio.
Probably.
When they first announced they're coming back, but that was months ago.
Yeah.
That was in winter, it was dark and gloomy.
Then Mudvayne, another classic.
Yeah, they're back again, and they've got Chad said that they've got new music coming soon.
Nice.
So it makes sense to come over to Europe to play some of that new stuff because they've been killing
Hype the
it.
popularity.
Yeah, they've been killing it in the States at the moment.
Again, this one, I'm not sure they're on the right stage, but I do agree that they need to be back at Download. It's Black Veil Brides.
Why not? Give them a headline slot. They've done...
I can see them potentially being a headliner of the Opus. Like they've not diminished that much popularity.
Not this year, though. Not this year, or next year, sorry.
No?
Nah.
I
think give them that Dogtooth stage and they'll really...
It's Avalanche.
Sorry, Avalanche stage, and they'll really do something with it in the dark.
I mean, there is that. I don't know, because they've played quite high up. But again, we're trying to just also say who we want to be at some point on Download. Actual stage order is not so important. Same with day order is. But moving on to the next stage, I reckon...
Opus.
Yep, Michael Monroe starting it. Starting our the ones that we have.
For all those old rockers out there.
Yep.
You know, this year they had Jerry Cantrell, and why not Michael Monroe? I know Michael's even older, but
it would work.
It's a good slice of Sunday afternoon and
Chill.
rock and roll.
Yep.
So that'd be quite nice, and then follow that up with Creeper.
I mean, Creeper's Creeper.
Yeah.
We don't need to explain too much. If you've been following the podcast for the last year, you know that we got our Creeper interview finally at the end of festival season last year. And if you don't know about Creeper, go and investigate them, because they are a force almost on their own.
They are a force on their own now.
Yeah.
They've got new music coming as well, so it's
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Then Beartooth.
I think so, on that second stage.
I mean, they've been mid-stage on the main stage, so moving across to a main support on the second stage, that's not too shabby. And then Knocked Loose.
Just because they are one of the buzz bands of this year, along with like Turnstile and Electric Callboy.
Yeah, they're huge.
They were both on the main stage. I thought Knocked Loose for second stage headliner.
Well, especially with what they're going up against on our billing, would work very well.
Something heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they are heavy.
So we're in the final part of our dream lineup, or actually our professionally thought out lineup that Mike's done.
The main stage on Sunday.
What are our first three bands, Mr. Mike?
Alpha Wolf.
Yep, I can see that for sure.
Slaughter to Prevail.
I mean, they have to be there at some point. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, it's about time Alex graced Donington with his mask and his gator growl.
And then Epica.
Epica, yeah, because I thought, I haven't picked anything symphonic, really.
And if they're getting the sales, then they get the main stage.
Yeah, why not?
And then we've supported these guys for a very long time. I know that because they're very thankful on social media.
They will, yeah.
And that's
Fontaines DC.
Fontaines.
Who have got their own headline festival in London coming up. So I thought that's
that kind of gets them a main stage.
Yeah, it's slightly indie-esque, so it will tick all the boxes for the people that go, it's all too heavy on the main stage.
Yeah, got to always handle those trolls.
But after Fontaines DC, Alter Bridge.
Yeah, perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I'm surprised that you put the next one in as main support.
Well, I'm going on the fact that they've been supporting Metallica on tour.
Yes, though I do see what Mike's put in as main support for this stage being a headliner at some point.
Oh, for sure. They just need to do more over here in the UK because they haven't played over here for a while. And
they need the ticket sales to be able to do
a fresh new album, not one that's just a rehash kind of thing.
Yeah.
New tracks, new push, and they'll be able to maybe 2028 headline.
So who do you think we're talking about?
Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, good old Ivan and Friends.
Yeah, Five Finger, man. They're
solid.
They're a solid. They're headline all around the world. It's just
not over here at the moment.
Not over here just yet.
Well, they do headline tours.
Yeah, I mean,
they
headline festivals.
And to be honest, the only one that's worth really headlining for them at the moment, based on UK festivals, they can't come into Bloodstock. It's too small. They've already ascended past that.
Yeah, I think so.
Reading doesn't suit them. Like, for main stage headliner.
Not main stage headliner, but they've got Limp Bizkit there this year at Reading, haven't they? So that could be that slot.
Yeah, but I think Limp Bizkit is more like party,
True. Oh yes, it's a party.
And apparently they just weren't available to headline Glastonbury. And then,
but there is talk that our Sunday night headliner might be doing a secret set at Glastonbury this year.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
They're in Europe. They are also playing at Wembley Stadium with Spirit Box. So if you can't guess by now, we're talking about Linkin Park.
And they should, for all of the haters out there, I'm just going to say it right now, Linkin Park, by going around the world a couple of times before they try and come back and headline Download, that's paying your dues when you've already headlined Download as many times as they have.
Also, like I just said, they're headlining their own Wembley Stadium, which is 70 to 80,000 tickets they'd have to sell for that. So that's definitely a Download festival headline capacity kind of thing.
And for anybody that's hating on Emily, we're not here for it. If you're going to comment that, then we'll probably just ignore it, because she kills it live. She's got the right voice for the sound, and the new stuff is Linkin Park, but it's new era Linkin Park.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
There's literally no way of bringing back the old era of Linkin Park, no matter how much my heart and soul would love that to be the case. So I like positivity through music, and I like, seeing people deal with very, very big trauma. And I think Linkin Park deserve that right as well. The members that aren't Emily, is they had to give up when Chester unfortunately took his own life.
But not all the members of Linkin Park are touring with them.
Yeah.
They're recording and stuff. They're on the new record, but they're not on the road with them.
And that's fair too, because Linkin Park have also been around since 99, 2000. It's roughly then when they first started dropping demos.
Yeah, I think it was probably 97, 98-ish.
And again, if you look at who Mike Shinoda is, the way that he's worked with bands like Don Broco, and raised so many people up, like he was behind the Executioners as well.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Linkin Park wasn't just Chester.
No.
And I like the tribute that Emily gives to Chester's life work, and has managed to engage a new generation into the helpful music that man wrote, and then she's gone and written some helpful ones herself as well.
And then on top of it, it's a female artist headlining Download, because no matter what people say, and they'll moan and groan forever and ever, it's Download this sausage fest, it's always cis men blokes headlining. It's like we're gradually pushing those bands that are male-backed bands forwards, but it's going to take time. You can't just go straight in and go, Spirit Box, straight into headline because you've got a girl in your band. You've got to
still get the numbers.
You've got to sell the tickets, because at the end of the day, Download is a corporate business and they have to cover their costs, and you're not talking a small amount, it's millions.
And Linkin Park is a great way to get that happening a bit quicker than having to raise a band up through the ranks in the traditional form.
You've got the likes of Spirit Box, but also Hailstorm could quite easily headline Download in a couple of years, I think.
Yep.
You get into those acts that are around 15 years in longevity at the moment will be the ones that will headline in sort of 7 to 10 years' time. And at the moment, those bands that have been around for 15 years are Hailstorm and In This Moment and Paramore would be a good shout for a Download
headliner, for sure, 100%.
Not next year though, because we've already locked it all in.
Yeah, no, we've
tickets are on sale now. Use the discount code MJRS.
We are all for a more diverse lineup, but as bookers of stuff, we have struggled as promoters and trying to book stuff that is diverse, and you have to take what's there. And I think it was Jamie Jaster's podcast that Andy Coppin went on, where he went, I hate it when people tell me that I'm trying to be push just males forward. He's like, I'm not. He's like, I get a list of bands that have the ticket sales, that have the popularity, that can headline. He's like, and say there's 10. I'm not saying that this is the actual numbers, but say there's 10, there might be 1 or 2 that are female. Then you have the logistics of whether you can get them there at the right time, based on what they're doing. All of this sort of jazz. I think Linkin Park is a great way to show a new generation of people that a female on the vocals can headline the festival and it be natural, easy, and the right thing to happen.
But also, we've got 2 new headliners with Ghost and Parkway, a bit like this year. 2 new headliners, Green Day and Sleep Token. And then you've got a new wave legacy band that's been around for 20 to 30 years, and it's not Iron Maiden.
Exactly that. So,
although if Iron Maiden did headline on the Sunday, at least we know we're going to be home in our own beds.
Not here for any more Iron Maiden. I'm not interested in you guys replacing all of your members so that the machine of Iron Maiden can go on. That does not raise up other bands. That just keeps money in the corporate pockets. I said it.
And I'm also going to put it out here now that there'll be a secret set by Skindred.
Probably a precursor to a headline from them as well.
Yeah, in like 2 years' time.
Andy Coppin, who does book the headliners. 2 bands, one of which Skindred, the other which Limp Bizkit, he has said in the last couple of years, both deserve a headlining slot at Download.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's what we're...
2027 or 2028.
Cool.
Along with Bullet.
I think so. I think we're probably going to need to wrap this one up because doing all of that has actually got us through the time that we wanted to take for this podcast.
So, like I said, tickets are on sale now to Download.
And make sure you do a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We have another From the Vault one coming out because we got the festival blog this week. And you might even find somebody that was on our dream lineup being the From the Vault interview.
You have to stay tuned to My James Rock Show to find out.
That's why you hit subscribe. Thank you for watching our download predictions for 2026. We have quite an exciting From the Vault coming out in just a couple of days' time, so make sure you do the usual like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And tune in next week for, well, we still haven't decided, so make sure you tune in and work out what we've actually gone with for next week's podcast.